My intention is basically about two things. The first one, I've told you, I've given you the analogy of God and the Trinity. And I'll reiterate that again. I've always said it before the beginning. The great God, she slept. She being not a woman, but the concept of womanhood or femaleness, no thingness. All females are represented genitalia-wise in no thingness. Maleness is the aggression of things. In case you haven't noticed, the male penis extends away from the body, in case you haven't noticed that. And it doesn't mean aggression like, "Arr." It just means that it moves in a certain way. In a moment, a flicker in the Mother God. A flicker, a recognition, a movement, the awakening. And the awakening to the dream. And the dream is God the Father. Again, not a man, but that thing which is the basis for all men, or all males. In a moment, in that moment of that flicker and that recognition, God the Son was born. God the Son, it is called a son because it too is aggressive. It is in a movement forward or a tangible thing. It is called love. We misunderstand. We think that the form that people call Jesus or Yahushua or whatever all those names are, we think that that is the Son of God. That is not what he meant. The Son of God is love, the firstborn of the two things, the two forces, the two powers. The firstborn of that is love. My first endeavor is to show the path, the process of opening up to the absolute value of love. The absolute value. I'm not talking about, if you will pardon the expression, this shallow crap. I love you, but I don't love you. No. You don't get it. That's not love. That's not the love that was born of the two parts that make the whole. The love that was born loves all things, even the stupid. Okay? The stupidity of the lack of use of intelligence. Even that is loved. Even for God, it's hard. But it's like, oh, Lord. I'm glad you got the humor in that. It's not true. It's just a yoke. Okay. So the key in that is to learn to accept love and love all things for the process they're in, for the growth that they're in, the movement that they're in. If you have children, you have to love the child, even though the child acts like a child, because that's his nature. It's a child. What are you going to do about that? And it's going to do childish things. So, what I have said to you, or the tool that has been given to you, is that in order to experience absolute value of love, you must accept your feelings. Accept them. You cannot deny them. And this is one of the things that we do. For whatever reason that we have, we think we have, or whatever reason that we formed as children not to feel. Can't do that. You can't do that and be saved. Because actually that's the thing that you need to be saved from. Okay? So if you carry around this thing, I'm not going to love, I'm not going to have this, I'm not going to care about that, I'm going to, I know what they did to me and so. Well, yeah, I'm not saying they didn't do that to you. I'm saying in terms of gaining love, you must feel. It's like saying if you go out in the rain, you get wet. That's all. Now we can debate about that all we want. The final come down is that you cannot feel love in the purity of love for all things, for all humanity, all mankind. Is a recognition of all things, and a recognition of where those things position is in relationship to your own position. A tree, a piece of grass, or whatever, the sky, whatever, is a recognition of being on a par. And that recognition of being on a par is love. I saw something on a t-shirt one day that I thought was sad but funny. It said, I love all God's creatures, especially when they are accompanied by some mashed potatoes and gravy. And see, we have to learn to appreciate both ends of the spectrum. It's like, oh. So, in that manner, to feel, even if what you feel feels badly, you don't like the way it feels. This is why the next clue was important. Positive energy feels good because it is flowing. Energy that is painful, your negative emotions, anger, insecurity, hostility, they don't feel good because of the name of the thing. They feel bad because the energy is not flowing. Clue. Big ass clue. Neon clue. Now, if you haven't taken advantage of that, you'll hear me say, go do your work. You'll come to me with stuff that doesn't have anything to do with that. And I'll say, go do your work. Because it has nothing to do with that. Doing that is doing the work. That's why the next step, technique. Here's the technique. I'll set up situations that are particularly difficult. I mean, and you think overpoweringly difficult because they bring up such feeling in you. But do you know what the river of God, the force, the power that carries? So there can be nothing untouched, nothing unfelt. So you've been given the clues to understand love. And love is that flow of that river. It is the mighty Mississippi. The flow. The flow will destroy you if you keep doing this. I won't. Because it is so big, it's like the power of the Mississippi running through the pipes in your house. Eventually, what do you become? Crazy. Just crazy. I don't know any other way to say it. We could use the word, oh, well, they are a little unbalanced. No, that fool is crazy. Okay? Just crazy. Just think about that. Now, I watch leaders. Their identity is in championing the way for others and coalescing others around them. I'm not a leader. Never have been. Never wanted to be one. Who am I to want to lead anyone anywhere? In order to be a leader, I think you have to be superior. I don't know anybody that's superior to anybody else. Not the leader. Jesse Jackson is his leader. Presidents are leaders. No. What I am is a facilitator of process. What I am here to do is to aid you in your journey. To aid. You can't make that anything else. You can't make it. You can't say Ananda is my leader. No, hell no. Let me ask this question. How can someone lead you in your decision making? Can't do it. Not and guarantee on the end of that that you will become a true thinker. If you are to become a true thinker, that is an evolution within you by exercising the process of thought, of thinking, ing, intelligence, which all of us have, and one of us is no more intelligent than any other. Some of us use it better than others because, not because we are more or less intelligent, but that we use more or less of our negative energy. Our negative energy does not allow for the expression of intelligence. It only allows for the expression of ignorance and darkness. And those of you who have a Christian base, I don't remember Jesus ever said, I'm a leader. He was called rabbi, teacher. He taught. Buddha said, look, let's sit here under this tree. Somebody give me a pencil. Here are 12 steps. Here's your 12-step program. There you go. Now, you're standing in my sun. Get away. Go do this. I am not your leader. They taught. they taught. So, one step removed from the wholeness of God is love. One step removed from the wholeness of God is intelligence, the ability to recognize. And in the moment, the recognition of God, and at that same moment, love. So these are two things that you must actualize in your life in order to experience the absolute value of what you are. The absolute value of what you are. So far, am I clear? Am I unclear? I want you to understand. I'm bringing things together at this moment. These are things that have been placed there in separate spots so that you go, and the light goes off. The enlightenment goes off because of the recognition, the recognition of the truth. And the joy of being is present and has always been present. It's been knocking at the door all your life. And you think it's the pizza delivery man. Because you know better than the naturalness of your soul, the naturalness of your being. You know better. It's all right for me to be angry. Yeah, if you want to be a fool. And it's just foolishness because it cuts off your true nature. Why wouldn't you want to be your absolute self? Now, the book, and many of them in different ways, talk about the tree of life and the fruit of the tree. The knowledge of good and evil. We think all that is about childish stuff. It is not. It's about very practical stuff. The tree of life. The tree of life is the unencumbered spirit. To be able to live with that unencumbered spirit. Death is about living with anger, the inability to allow yourself to grow and to change and to see. That's what death is about. Eating the fruit, that fruit is the division of being. What we have to do is to bring forward what we naturally are, the natural love, that natural intelligence that is in us, to bring that forward so that there is balance. Balance. We are entering a period of time, we have entered the age of enlightenment. Well, the age of enlightenment has two sides, because it is about choice. It is about choice. We will choose enlightenment or darkness. It is about the breakdown of order. The breakdown of the order that we have lived by and assumed that is true. It is about things. It has been about things ruling. Things ruling. What do we want? We want more stuff than the next guy. Stuff is important. It's important that I have friends. That's stuff. It's not important that you have friends. It's important that you be a friend. Have friends. Think of the sentence. Have, possess, own. I mentioned this to you before in part. It's also a part of the clues, part of the breadcrumbs that have been left along the road or in the forest. A part of the great experiment of being in form. In the evolution of man, our base has been so contaminated with things. The world is now filled with leadership that is about things. About things, not about us as humanity, but about things. And this is a natural outcome of the evolution of our species. But now, here comes the balance. It's okay to have things, but you have to realize they're things. And they cannot be more important than two things: love and intelligence. First, we must know and understand pure love. We have to understand that, and the way we understand that is to come from behind things, position, power. How do we do that? Intelligence. Oh, that's not working. Oh, it's not working. Hey gang, let's figure out something else. There are enough of us in the world with a small modicum of intelligence that we can figure this out. There's no reason why 1% of the people in the world should control 90% of the wealth. Duh. Somebody's going to be pissed, and they're going to come for you. It's going to be like the villagers around the Frankenstein castle. They're coming. So now, it is to come to that system of balance. Now I want to hold that point. Hold that point, because I'm going someplace with this. Yes, you had a question.
I was watching Oprah's next chapter. She had on a man named Tony Robbins, who's all about woohoo energy and making people energized so they can walk on hot coals. He was doing this workshop, energizing people, and he was talking to a woman, and the woman was talking about something that brought up a lot of energy in her, and it was really good, but she started to cry. And he said, this happens to people all the time. They make connections, but they make connections with pain, so that even when something good happens, can you relate that to what you've just been saying about the use of intelligence? Because I was going to ask you...
No.
No?
No. You said, can I relate that to this? No.
No. Okay. Does that sentence relate at all to the statement, we come through either great pain or great intelligence? Is there a relationship there?
Yes.
Okay. Is this a question for another time?
I don't know that it's a question, period.
Okay. Well,
And let me tell you why.
Yes, go ahead.
Because that has nothing to do with the essence of what I'm saying.
That's what I'm asking. Is it for another time?
It's not at all. Okay. Did you hear me?
No.
It's not at all. Because it has nothing to do with the concept. See, what you're doing is you're adding something on the side instead of hearing what has been said.
Okay.
And when we do that, see, I'm very clear and very lean. And this is what those kinds of things. Oh well, Tony Robbins. This. You really want to know what I think of Tony Robbins?
Yeah.
He's a jerk.
Okay.
That's what I think of Tony Robbins. Not that that's a bad thing, that him being a jerk. He just doesn't understand. And the misleading of people in the way that he is misled. The same way I think of the Pope. I make things lean. I pare them down. I do not want you adding something of somebody else. I don't care if it's Jesus. Because here is the point, and I'm paring it down. I'm saying exactly something very exact. All you need to do is follow that. If you follow that, you'll get there.
Okay.
Okay, because that's what it's about. It's about getting there as a person. This is about, what I'm saying to you is about you. Taking something someone else said or what someone else does is not about you. That's looking for intellectual stuff. This here is, what I'm saying to you here is a practical element. Do it. Do it in this way. That's why I said about this kind of thing, put the books down. Put down what anybody said. Because you cannot understand what somebody else is saying. You can't. I'm saying to you, here are very simple rules. We can do that. 1 + 1 is 2. We can deal with that because that's a fact. I'm giving you facts, not a broad philosophical approach. So, Oprah, you want to know what I think about Oprah? Okay, same thing I think about Tony Robbins. I'm not saying she's not a good person. I'm not saying she has not made an impact in the society and in the world. But she's full of herself. So, anyway, no. Okay. Now, because you asked me that question, you make sure you study this.
Yes.
Make sure you study it. Okay? Particularly this part.
Okay.
All right. Now, where was I? To be able to put the pieces of this puzzle together exercises our intelligence, stretches our intelligence, stretches it so that we have questions. And we have questions, and these things somehow fit together. You see it. I was watching Jeopardy one day with somebody, and the answers were just rolling off my tongue like that. I don't think I missed a one. I said, wow, you must really be smart. No, I'm stupid. Here's the answer. Here's the reason why. The parts are there. There's nothing here to get in the way of the parts coming together by themselves. That is natural human intelligence. When the other stuff doesn't get in the way. Just bang. What I have to do is get out of the way and let intelligence do its thing. Allow. intelligence to do its thing. It's no biggie. It's wired that way. It's just wired that way. That's all. No big secret. This is the way it's wired. Let it do its thing. Intelligence. This is the thing. We are children. When we talk about that great thing that is all of us, and that thing, that creative power, that creative essence, do you really think that it cares whether you use shit or doo-doo? Do you think it really cares? It cares more about the stupidity with which you make your judgments. Do you know why firewalking works? It says to give you the confidence and to bring that forward so we can walk fire. It works simply because there's a layer of perspiration on the soles of your feet. And when you walk across it, it keeps it cool enough until you get to the end off without burning. And it builds up a pressure so that there is a little separation. Now, what does that have to do with confidence? Nothing. It is physics. That's why I say I don't think very much. Tricks, I don't. When I came into martial arts, we had demonstrations of being able to break bricks with your fingertips. Well, that's what they told me. And that's what I was doing, breaking 2 bricks with my fingertip. Pow! Hurt. I'm wondering, wait a minute, guys, how do you do that without it hurting? Oh, it's a trick. Well, you think somebody would have told me it's a trick? When they do it, they do this. And just before it gets to the brick, and the person holding the brick is holding a little separation, one at an angle like that. And it's done so fast that what happens is the heel of the hand hits the brick, slams one brick into the other brick, and breaks the 2 bricks. And then what you do is this. Pow! And it looks like, but nobody told me. So I end up with blood blisters and stuff in the end of my fingers. The trick. No. No trick. For real. This is for real. That's why I don't think very much of people who do tricks. They're not helping. They're making it worse. What I am saying to you is that there is a way through the crap. You must find your way through the crap. Mine is to help you, to help facilitate your path. If you don't take the initiative, there's nothing I can do or nothing I will do, because that's cheating. Cheating you and cheating me. That's cheating. As I've said to you when you first came here, this is for real. I am for real. That is why I don't ask you for anything. I don't ask you for big sums of money to do this. If you want to do something for me, you do it. And I've even become skeptical of that, because I've had people do that and then act like I asked them for it. So, no. I'm keeping it clean. If you want to help, help. I'm keeping it clean. This is what this is about. I am not the pastor of a church where you have to give and give and this. So, we're back to that form thing, to form running it. This is about one thing and one thing only: the elevation of the spirit of each and every person. Part of that, love and intelligence. How do I help you activate that in yourself to a point beyond where you think, where your thoughts are, I should say? I've said something to you that's absolutely important. I said to you, reality is not what you think it is. What have you done with that? I said to you, this whole thing is this giant electron cloud. Your brain takes it and shapes it into what you think you see. How much real thought did you give to that? That is a puzzle given to you for you to exercise that process. Not accepting what I think, but going, wait a minute, how could this be? Oh, there it is. It's an electron, the whole thing is an electron cloud which your mind takes and tries to order. Did you ever think about that statement? It's not what you think it is? So the mind is actually a liar, isn't it? It's not true. But you see, it's not true. See, these are things that should make you go, wait a minute. How can this be? I see red. I see this. I see that. The lie. I also told you that when a child is born, he is conditioned to perceive the world in the same way. So certain neurons are put into play to cause you to order it in a certain way. Doesn't mean I've said, it's real, but not true. You ever think about that? It's breadcrumbs asking you to really think. But now, let's ask this question. Do we leave here and go back to thinking the same way we did just before we came? Yep. I have given lectures, and before I walk out the door, I hear people saying that dumbest shit. I mean, just everything against everything I just said. It's like, well, all right then. Stupid is really the order of the day, and I won't say who you are. But I heard you. Instead of, aren't we? See, this right here, this between us, is serious. This is not stuff everywhere else. This is serious and must be given serious attention. Guess what's at stake? You. Your soul is at stake. And I don't mean you going to hell. I don't know what that is. I just mean the misery is still there. Because I didn't think this is. And take this to heart. I've tried to present it in such a way that you see that I have no ulterior motives. That's why, that's why I don't say, look, now you got to give me this and you got to give me, no attachment. I say, I'm not your leader, so I don't get any exaltation. I'm saying I'm keeping this clean to the law so that I present to you the cleanness of the law. Now, question is, do you want to hear the cleanness of the law, or do you want to play some other game? Chances are, and what we find, the other game wins. You're still dealing with the idea of physical reality. Now, there must be balance. I'll give you a statement, and I've used this over and over again, this duality. Several statements about it. I gave you a definition of the word devil. No bad man, no bad guy. Dual thought. Now let's think of this. There's Yahushua, or Jesus as he is called. Gethsemane. He's standing there and he's looking down at the city. Here's what he's thinking. There's a bunch of morons down there. I could go down there and I could run this fella. I could be rich. I could control them, not by some magic power, but because they're stupid. Ooh, I could have money. I could have women. Power. But the true part of himself says, nah, wait a minute. You can't do that. Can't do it. Got to keep it clean. You got to go on over here and die. Ooh. Ooh. Run it, die. Ooh, women, die. Buying clothes, die. Oh, man. I know. I'll go die and then I'll rise up. So I can balance this thing. That's a joke, okay? It's a joke. It's a joke. All right. All I'm saying is that the devil or the doubt was the struggle between the physical mind and spirit. And he chose spirit. This is what every person has to struggle with. This is what every person has to struggle with. Now, the key, stop struggling. Okay? Stop struggling. Accept. This is the way I feel. I feel like crap. Okay. Let me stop that. Let me let this energy flow. Oh, I'm no longer struggling. I feel better. Oh, I feel pretty good. One of the things I've used with you is keeping silent and talking. To learn about one teaches you about the other. One is of the tree of life, and one is of the fruit of the knowledge of good and evil. One is evil, and one is, what's the word? Divine. And we learn that through the balance. And I keep saying,
We talk too much. And I don't mean with your mouth, because that's just a reflection of what goes on in here. If I keep silent, I begin to understand the importance of speech. The importance of speech. Then I begin to speak differently. I begin to say things differently. I understand the importance of speech. That's why I keep it clean. Because I understand the importance of getting the message across. Because I've understood talking too much. I've understood silence by talking too much and understood talking too much by silence. And that doesn't mean, oh, I'm going to stop talking so much. I'm going to stop talking so much. Boy, I talk too much. I'm going to stop talking so much. No, you're still talking too much. Just stop. Because the devil is present. The doubt, the double thinking is present. Blah, 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 blah. Well, here, blah, 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 blah. Ah! The division is present. God is a singularity, and there must be balance between this reality and the reality that is one soul. Psychological health, we may call it. Call it whatever you want to call it. Doesn't matter, as long as you be it. That's what matters, and what matters to you. Doesn't matter to anyone else, just to you. Because the peace then becomes yours. The use of intelligence then becomes yours. The use of love then becomes yours. Remember, the greater you can hurt, to an equal measure, you can feel pleasure. You want to feel the greatest love, you have to also feel the greatest pain. To provide the greatest pain provides one with the opportunity for the greatest love, if they take it and stop struggling with it. Simple words are enough sometimes. When I say to a person, stop putting yourself down. Stop feeling bad about what you are. See, if you stop feeling bad about what you are, what's the other side? Feeling good. There's a thing about the nature of reality. You manifest. When you manifest, you leave the other thing behind in the unmanifested. So when you are being miserable, guess what you've left behind unmanifested? Joy. And you tell yourself the lie, it's okay for me to feel this way. Yeah, if you want to be nuts. Yeah, it is. If you want to be nuts, great to feel that way. But if you want to be in control and want to understand, you see both. You realize that what is seeing both is what is. What is seeing that continuum is what is. Now I have a choice. This is freedom. Now I can choose. Okay, cool. Now, I am at peace. Who feels good? I feel good. Damn. Was it always that simple? Always. It's just that we kept choosing the mind.